Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So now, let's proceed to the new chapter, chapter 9, reproduction and development. This chapter is very interesting to learn and to know. So for this chapter, have 4 subtopics. The first one is sexual reproduction in flowering plant, followed by human reproductive system, fertilization and fetal development, and the last one is role of hormone during pregnancy and parturition. So before we go deeper, you need to know the definition of reproduction or the concept of reproduction. So basically, reproduction is a process produce new individual and the genetic material is passed from generation to generation. So, pembiakan adalah satu proses di mana akan melahirkan ataupun menghasilkan individu baru dan proses itu melibatkan transfer, pemindahan maklumat genetik daripada generasi ke generasi. So, the role of reproduction or kepentingan reproduction, the first one is to make sure the continuity of species. Kalau tak ada pembiakan, maksudnya spesies itu tak akan ada dah di masa hadapan. So that's why kita kena ada reproduction untuk memastikan kesinambungan spesies tersebut. And the second one, the genetic material can be transferred from one generation to generation. Alright, this one you know already. Types of reproduction has 2. The first one is sexual reproduction. So for sexual reproduction, the thing that you must know it is producing new individual from single parent and without fusion of gamete. Okay, that is the keyword. So as sexual reproduction, the new individual is formed by the single parent and no fusion of gametes. So maksudnya di sini takkan ada fertilization between the sperm and the ovum because the sperm and ovum is a gamete. Okay, and then offspring produced are genetically identical with the parent. Okay, so for example here, asexual reproduction in animal. Example is binary fusion. So as you know, for example, the prokaryote, the bacteria cell. So dia akan buat binary fusion. So the new cell or the daughter cell exactly identical to the parent. So macam mana kita tahu? Hanya melibatkan single sahaja, which is one bacteria cell. Then from the one bacteria cell, it will divide into 2 new daughter cell. So maksudnya jelas kat sini hanya melibatkan single parent dan anak yang terhasil akan exactly sama dengan ibu dia. Okay, in plant cell, ada banyak method for asexual reproduction. For example, is vegetative propagation. For example, we use the runner. Okay, tuber. Contohnya dalam pembiakan strawberry, dalam pembiakan untuk potato. So itu melibatkan asexual reproduction. Okay, so now let's proceed to what is actually sexual reproduction. So the concept is of course different. So in sexual reproduction, kita tak kata dia melibatkan dua parent. That is not the concept. The most or the important concept is sexual reproduction involve fusion of haploid gamete. Okay, involve fusion of gamete. So means involve fusion of sperm and the egg to form a zygote. So as we know, sperm is haploid and the egg cell or the ovum also haploid. Then when the fertilization occur, it may form diploid cell called zygote. So, for sexual reproduction, the offspring produced is not genetically identical to the parent. Okay, then sexual reproduction increase genetic variation among offspring. For example, okay, human is produced from sexual reproduction. Even though we are from the same parent, ibu dan ayah yang sama, tapi adik-beradik itu muka dia akan berbeza. Tidak akan dapat sebiji muka yang sama seperti ibu dia ataupun ayah dia. So, it it proved that sexual reproduction increase genetic variation among offspring. Okay, so for sexual reproduction in plant, okay, this is you need to know for today. This is the thing yang kita akan belajar hari ni. First thing is you need to know that the reproduction in plant, okay, or we can say that the life cycle in plant involve alternation of generation. Okay, the life cycle of plant involve alternation of generation. What is alternation of generation? Alternation of generation means within the life cycle of plant, they have two generation. The sporophyte generation and gametophyte generation. Okay, clear? Fahamkan itu dulu. Within the life cycle of plant, they have two generation. So, the generation is sporophyte and gametophyte. Since they have two kind of generation, we call as alternation of generation. Okay, what is mean by alternation of generation? So, look at here. Okay, saya dah kata tadi, life cycle akan melibatkan dua generation. First is sporophyte generation. So as you can see here, sporophyte generation is diploid. Okay, sporophyte generation is diploid. Then the sporophyte generation will undergo meiosis. Okay, undergo meiosis. Later, it may produce haploid spore. Haploid spore. And then this haploid spore may undergo mitosis and forming gametophyte. So the gametophyte is the second generation and this gametophyte is haploid. Later on, this gametophyte may undergo mitosis to produce gamete, which is haploid. So this gamete has two. As we know, gamete mesti ada dua. Kita ada sperm dan kita ada egg. And then the gamete will fertilize and then will form a structure which is diploid called zygote. Okay, so basically kita boleh kata macam ni, sporophyte is the diploid generation which undergo meiosis to produce haploid spore. Gametophyte generation is haploid generation which undergo mitosis to produce haploid gamete. Okay, dapat tak? So the connection is sporophyte, diploid, undergo meiosis, produce haploid spore. Then haploid spore will develop into gametophyte, still haploid. Then the gametophyte may produce gamete, which haploid. And then the gamete will fertilize to form the zygote, which is diploid. And then this zygote will develop into new sporophyte, which is the diploid generation. Okay. So, this is the same. Apa yang saya kata tadi. Okay. So, this is example. Okay. The production of the sporophyte and also the gametophyte. Okay. Later on, kita akan fokus lah. Okay. So, in plant, actually, it has what we call four phylum. We have bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, and angiosperm. So for flowering plant, okay, they are classified under angiosperm. So for your syllabus, we focus on the angiosperm. Kita akan fokus kepada angiosperm sahaja. So in angiosperm, okay, the sporophyte generation is dominant. Okay, setiap plant dia akan ada dua generasi, sporophyte dan gametophyte. Okay, but for angiosperm, the dominant generation is sporophyte. Apa itu dominant generation? Dominant generation adalah generasi yang memang kita nampak. Generasi yang akan conduct photosynthesis. So itu dipanggil sebagai dominant generation. Okay, and then for this sporophyte, generation in our angiosperm. Okay, example of the structure is flower. Okay, so macam kita tahu tadi, dalam sebatang pokok dia akan ada dua generasi, iaitu sporophyte dan gametophyte. Dan contoh sporophyte generation is actually the flower structure. And the flower structure is represent reproductive structure of plant. Boleh dapat? Okay, sporophyte generation adalah generasi yang dominan yang memang kita nampak. Contohnya kita nampak dahan, kita nampak daun, kita nampak akar. Itu semua adalah generasi sporophyte. Dan pada generasi sporophyte ni ada reproductive structure. And the reproductive structure is the flower. So that's why you need to know the structure and function of reproductive organ in flowering plant. So actually you already learned this during your secondary school. So example, this is the flower. Okay. And then what you need to know is stamen. What is stamen? Stamen will consist of anther and also the filament. And the stamen represent male reproductive organ. Represent male reproductive organ. Okay. So, kalau soalan tanya what is male reproductive organ, your answer is stamen. So, kalau dia tanya what is the component of stamen, the answer is anther and the filament. Okay, so, for female reproductive structure is called as carpel. So, this is for female reproductive structure. And it consists of 3 components, which is the stigma, style, and ovary. Okay, other than that, the petal. Okay, this is for attract the pollinator. Okay, so that's why petal usually in a bright color, supaya dia boleh tarik perhatian pollinator. For example, insect lah, butterfly, bees dan sebagainya. And then kita ada sepal. And then kita ada receptacle. Semua ini adalah sporophyte. Okay. So this is the function of every every structure. Okay, you can read by yourself. Okay, so now let's focus on the production of male gamete. Okay, production of male gamete. Okay, all right. I want to start here. Okay, so macam yang saya kata tadi, life cycle of plant involve alternation of generation, means involve 2 generation. The diploid generation called sporophyte and the haploid generation called gametophyte. So as you can see here, this is the flower. And we know that the flower will consist of stamen, which have the anther and the filament. Okay. So this structure is also diploid, means they are sporophyte generation. So in a close view of the anther, means kita akan buat cross section. Kita ambil anther and then kita belah dua. So in the anther, it consists of microsporangium. So microsporangium, also known as pollen sac, and they are diploid. So this microsporangium, it consists of microsporocyte. So ingat this is pollen sac. Okay, anther ni pollen sac. Then bila kita buat cross section in this anther, okay, dalam pollen sac ni ada structure yang dipanggil sebagai microsporocyte. Okay. Ataupun ada buku yang panggil sebagai microspore mother cell. Dan dia adalah diploid. So maksudnya sekarang ni enter is diploid. Microsporangium, which is the pollen cell, also diploid. Microsporocyte, also diploid. So means they are from sporophyte generation. So dari awal tadi saya dah nyatakan sporophyte generation will undergo meiosis. And then from the process it will produce haploid spore. And now the name is microspore. Okay, so the name now is microspore. From one microsporocyte, it undergo meiosis. So, kena faham, meiosis from one parent cell, dia akan hasilkan 4 diploid daughter cell. So, the diploid daughter cell we call as microspore. So, bermula dari sini, mereka adalah dari generasi gametophyte. Dia akan menjadi develop into gametophyte. Macam mana dia nak develop into gametophyte? Dia akan buat mitosis. Okay. So, each of the microspore will undergo mitosis to form male gametophyte. So, this male gametophyte also called as pollen grain. Okay, also called as pollen grain. So from one cell, bila dia buat mitosis, dia akan hasilkan 2 sel. So macam yang kamu nampak sini, dia masih lagi share the same cytoplasm. Ingat balik, mitosis is a type of nuclear division. So apa yang berlaku pada microspore, dia buat mitosis without cytokinesis. So means only the nucleus divide, but the cytoplasm is not divided. So that's why it will produce a structure with 2 nucleus. And then each of the nucleus consider as a cell. Okay. So one is called as generative cell. Another one is called as tube cell. Okay. Then, as you know, here is the male gametophyte structure. Later on, okay, kita tak dapat lagi gamet. Okay, as you know, gametophyte, it must undergo mitosis to produce gamet. Okay, so dia kena buat mitosis untuk produce gamet. Jadi bila dia nak buat mitosis tu, siapa yang akan buat mitosis tu? The answer is generative cell. Then the generative cell, this cell, it may undergo mitosis to produce 2 sperm. So sperm is gamet. Okay, clear or not? Alright. So recall the concept. Okay. Recall back the concept. Sporophyte is diploid. Undergo meiosis. Produce haploid spore. Haploid spore undergo mitosis. Producing gametophyte. Gametophyte undergo mitosis. Producing haploid gamete. Then haploid gamete fertilized to form diploid zygote. Diploid zygote will develop into new sporophyte. So, kita akan tengok satu-satu. Apa yang saya tunjuk dekat kamu ini adalah how the male gamete produce. How the male gamete produce. So we start from the sporophyte generation, which is the enter. Okay, so the enter is sporophyte generation, which consists of microsporangium, or also known as pollen sac. So in this pollen sac consists of microsporocyte. So the microsporocyte is diploid cell and also known as microspore mother cell. Microsporocyte then undergo meiosis. Why? Because microsporocyte is diploid. They are from sporophyte generation. So they undergo meiosis, producing 4 haploid spore. The name is microspore. Then these haploid spore undergo mitosis without cytokinesis. Mean each cell, okay, will divide into 2, okay, in terms of nucleus, okay. So the first we call as generative cell, and second one is the tube cell. And then this male gametophyte may undergo mitosis again to produce 2 sperm. So in this case, only generative cell will undergo mitosis to produce the sperm. The tube cell is not involved in mitosis. So at the end, we have the sperm. We have the male gamete. We have the haploid gamete. Okay. So again, let's check the concept. The sporophyte, multicellular diploid cell here in plant, we call as microsporocyte. Microsporocyte undergo mitosis, producing 4 microspore. And then the microspore, each of them will undergo mitosis, producing male gamete. The male gametophyte. The other name of male gametophyte is microgametophyte, or called as pollen grain. Okay, they are haploid. And then the male gametophyte, which is kita dah tahu this male gametophyte consists of 2 cell. The 2 cell, kita ada generative cell, and then we have the tube cell. Okay, also haploid. Then this male gametophyte may undergo mitosis to produce gamete. So in this case, only generative cell will undergo mitosis and produce gamete. Berapa banyak? 2 sperm. And this sperm is haploid. Okay. So kita dah settle untuk production of male gamete, which is the sperm. Okay. Now, let's take a look what happened. Okay. What is the process to produce female gamete? So, as you know, for female reproductive structure, it consists of stigma, style, and ovary. Okay. Stigma, style, and ovary. So, as you can see here, this ovary, this structure, okay, this entire structure, it has a ovule. So, ovary will have the structure called ovule. So, ini dia. This is entire structure of ovary. Dan ini dipanggil sebagai ovule. So, the female gamete, which is the egg, will develop within the ovule. Okay. The gamete, which is the female gamete yang kita panggil egg tu, akan develop daripada ovule. So, what happen is, okay, kalau kamu nampak sini, the ovule is attached to ovary wall at placenta by short structure called funiculus. Okay. And then ni ya, ini funiculus. And then this funiculus is a structure which the food and water is passed to the developing ovule. Okay. This one you can read. Okay, what I want to focus is this. The process to produce female gamete. Okay. Compared to male. Okay. Kita fokus sekarang ni is at the ovary. Or the detailed one is the ovule. In the ovule, it consists of megasporangium. Okay, dalam ovule kita ada struktur ini yang dipanggil sebagai megasporangium. Okay, and then in the megasporangium consists of megasporocyte. So this ovule is diploid. Megasporangium diploid. Megasporocyte also diploid cell. Dan ini juga dipanggil sebagai megaspore mother cell. Okay. What happened is, okay, tengok di sini ya. Okay. Alright, here. This megasporocyte atau kita panggil tadi sebagai megaspore mother cell, then they are diploid. So bila diploid maksudnya dia adalah sporophyte. Okay, they are sporophyte. This megaspore mother cell, it may undergo meiosis. So in the process of meiosis, we produce 4 haploid cells. We call as megaspore and they are haploid. And what happened is, from all these 4, only one survive. Only one will survive. Only one megaspore survive. What happened to another 3? They will disintegrate. Okay, ketiga-tiga ini tak akan dapat survive, dia akan diintegrate, maksudnya dia akan musnah. And then this megaspore, which is haploid, they may undergo mitosis for how many times? 1, 2, 3. So for all these 3 mitoses, not involve cytokinesis. Means only the nucleus divide, but the cytoplasm is not divide. So for the first time mitosis, from 1 nucleus become 2 nucleus. For second time mitosis, from 2 become 4. For the third time, from 4 become 8. So this is called as female gametophyte, which is still in haploid condition. Okay, the haploid generation, female gametophyte. Then you need to know the detailed structure of all these 8. Okay, this is called 3 antipodal cell. This is called 2 synergid cell. This is egg cell. And this is called as diploid nuclei. So kita boleh tengok di sini. Okay, kita ada 2 synergid cell, 3 antipodal cell and 2 synergid cell. Okay, again, saya terang balik. Okay. Right. So, the male gamete is produced in an ovary. So, ovary consists a structure called ovule. In the ovule has structure called megasporocyte, which is diploid cell. and they are from sporophyte generation. Then megasporocyte undergo meiosis, producing 4 megaspore, which is haploid. Then from all these 4, only 1 megaspore survive. And this megaspore undergo 3-time mitosis without cytokinesis and produces cell with 8 nuclei. So this structure is represent female gametophyte, and other name is referred to embryo sac. And you need to know the detailed structure of this tree. Okay, look at here. The 3 cell above atas ini dipanggil sebagai 3 antipodal cell. Ada berapa? 3. Dan semua sel-sel di dalam ini adalah dalam keadaan haploid. And then we have 2 polar nuclei. We have at the center 1 egg cell. And then we have 2 synergid cell. Wajib hafal. 3 antipodal cell, 2 polar nuclei, 1 egg cell, and 2 synergid cell. And this is the function for all the cell. For synergid cell, the function is to attract and guidance of the pollen tube. Okay, this is important. Okay, untuk berlakunya fertilization. And then egg cell, for sure, that is represent the female gamete. So, maksudnya di sini, dalam penghasilan female gamete, hanya ada satu je female gamete. Tapi sperm tadi ada berapa? Ada 2. Okay, sperm tadi ada 2. Sebab kita kena ingat balik, generative cell undergo mitosis producing 2 haploid sperm. Tapi gamete within the female gametophyte, within the embryo sac, only 1 sahaja yang ada. And then the 3 antipodal cell, until now, kita tak tahu what is the function. And then the 2 polar nuclei, which is at the center, the function is to share the cytoplasm of the central of the embryo sac. So hopefully you can remember the detailed structure. So basically, this is the summarize. Okay, again, I will explain. The male gamete is produced within the anther of the flower. Anther of the flower is sporophyte generation, which consists of microsporangium, which also known as pollen sac. Pollen sac consists of microsporocyte, which is diploid cell, and also known as microspore mother cell. Microsporocyte then undergo meiosis, producing 4 haploid microspore. And each of these haploid microspore undergo mitosis without cytokinesis. How many times? Only 1 time. So it will produce a structure called male gametophyte, or other name is pollen grain. And this male gametophyte has 2 cells. First is generative cell and second is the tube cell. Then this generative cell, it may undergo mitosis to produce 2 sperm. And this sperm is haploid. So we already have the male gamete. Okay. Then for female gamete, it is developed from the structure of the ovary. So structure of ovary, it has ovule. So ovary consists of ovule. So in the ovule consists of megasporocyte, which is diploid cell, and also known as megaspore mother cell. This megasporocyte undergo meiosis, producing four megaspore, and this megaspore is haploid. And then from 4 megaspore, only one surviving microspore left. Another 3 will disintegrate. And the surviving megaspore, they may undergo mitosis. For how many times? 3 times. And all the mitosis is without cytokinesis. So it means only the nucleus divide. The cytoplasm is not divide. So they produce a structure called female gametophyte. And other term is embryo sacs, which consists of 8 haploid cell. What is the 8 haploid cell? 3 antipodal cell, 2 polar nuclei, 1 egg cell, and 2 synergid cell. So do the female gamete is being produced? Yes, because this egg cell is the female gamete. Okay. Alright. Now we already have the male gamete and female gamete. So when the gamete produce, the next step can be fertilization. So before fertilization, the most important event to occur is the pollination. What is pollination? Process transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of the flower. Transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma of the flower. Okay, remember, this pollen grain, dia adalah male gametophyte. Apa yang dia ada? Dia ada generative cell dan dia ada tube cell. And then what is stigma? Ingat tak? This is stigma, style, then ovary. In the ovary kita ada ovule and this ada embryo sac. Which is ini represent female gametophyte. Dan di sini ada 3 antipodal cell, 2 polar nuclei, 2 synergid cell and 1 egg cell. Okay. So pollination is process transferring the pollen grain from anther onto stigma. Okay, remember, process transferring pollen grain from anther into the stigma. So that is pollination. Okay, so we have 2 types of pollination. Self-pollination, within it occur within same flower or another flower on same plant. Okay, but for cross-pollination, it is transfer of the pollen grain into stigma melibatkan different plant. Okay, so kalau berlaku pada plant yang sama, pokok yang sama, itu kita panggil self-pollination, tapi melibatkan pemindahan pollen grain kepada stigma of flower of different plant but still in the same species, that is called as cross-pollination. Okay. Okay, so this show the self-pollination. This is the anther which have the pollen grain, and then the pollen grain is transferred to the stigma on the same plant or in the different stigma of flower but still in the same plant. But for cross-pollination, see, the transfer of pollen grain occur within different plant. Okay, so the process of pollination, okay, the anther wall will break open and it will release the pollen grain. Ingat tadi pollen grain ada apa? Dia ada generative cell and dia ada tube cell. Okay. So what is pollinator? Okay, to allow pollination to occur, we need a pollinator, which is the agent that transfer pollen from male to female reproductive part of flower, which is the stigma lah. So in other words, what is pollinator? Agent of pollination. Okay. So we have various type of pollinator. Example, kita ada animal. Okay, contohnya macam bees, butterfly. Okay, dia bawa pollen tu kepada pokok lain. Okay, sebab pollen tu akan melekat pada kaki dia atau melekat pada dia punya fur, and then dia pergi pokok lain. So pada waktu itulah akan berlakunya pemindahan pollen grain kepada stigma. The most important thing, next thing is, yang kamu kena tahu is double fertilization. So we're going to continue this in the next video. So wait, okay, and please make sure that you hafal how the male gamete produce and how the female gamete produce. And please very understand what is called by alternation of generation. Bye.